We are back, and we got quite the crew here tonight. Papi Chulo has joined us because he had so much fun last week, and everyone's favorite person to hate, Glenn Schillinger. What a fucking asshole that guy is.
Oh, garbage.
So he finally got sick and tired of me cussing him out every week, so he wanted to come on and defend himself.
Whatever,
Punch
dude.
you in the mouth.
My fucking lips are still chapped from smoking his pole on the pod last week. I did go off on you, Glenn. I gave you a lot of compliments about excellent draft. You know, things are just like really working out, and the scoring got even more absurd this week. And I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to take control of this fucking pod now because this is like the after.
Whose fucking band is this anyway? You cocksuckers,
man! Dude, we don't want to listen to this. But yeah, so Glenn is over 216 points ahead of the next team. Like that's an entire our average weekly score as a league is somewhere in the ballpark of about 150 points, a little under. So that means that your average team in our league would have to play 2 or 1.5 games. They'd have to play 1.5 games to catch Glenn. His average score per week is 190. What is it? 190 what now, Glenn? 195.5.
Let me go to the Google machine here.
No, I got it. 195.5. Your next closest, who's Bobby, who's been on a fucking skid, is 164.6.
He's terrible.
It's 30 fucking points a week, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, over the next best. It's fucking insane. It's 50 fucking points a week over the league average. It's a level of domination I've never seen. So, I think
incredible.
I think while we're smoking your poll, we do have to slap you around a little bit because I just don't understand. Well, I've done this. I did it. It's my fault.
You don't understand what? Keep going. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well.
Are
we talking about pre-draft trades?
We're talking about pre-draft trades, Glenn. And
all right, hold on. I just want to set the stage here for a second.
Fuck you. I want it to be duly noted, though, before you start, that in commissioners' conversations before the season, there was one voice that was vehemently against pre-draft trades.
Who was that, Dave? The big unit?
And you know why? Because of what just happened. Because of what happened.
Okay, so in the first video, I started off saying, hey, this is only fantasy football. I come to the group with a fun idea. Hey, here's a cool way to extend the fantasy season by a couple weeks. And Dave has not shut up about this rule for like the last month. I'm like, bro, it's okay, man. It's just a fantasy football trade. I don't think we've ruined any leagues or any lives. Everyone just needs to relax. However, everyone is all hot and bothered about this. I only want to say one thing. If Kamara wasn't even on Glenn's team, he would still be dominating with the picks that he's made.
Yeah, fuck that. I made that point to you the other day when you were lighting my asshole up about it. But it's true.
I was only just trying to, I was like bobbing and weaving as you were just calling me in the morning, yelling at me about fantasy football. I was like, bro, what is going on?
It was right after. It was like the day. It was Tuesday. It was after I lost that game where all I had to do was score 109 points and I still couldn't do it. So I was in a bad spot. And then I saw that Glenn got top score again this week. And it was
I got that.
I was in a fucking dark place. Dark place. Look at me. I haven't shaved. I haven't showered in weeks. I'm living in the basement. About to get divorced. All because of you, Glenn.
Our pets heads are falling off.
Those last three things, not true. I have showered. I showered this morning, actually. Probably not headed for divorce. Maybe not.
I'm on day 2. No shower.
I don't know what the third thing was, but that's not true either. But I am in a dark place.
So let's go around the room. So Glenn was saying that he had some things he wanted to say about the rule changes. So we'll do Glenn first, and then Poppy can weigh in, and then we'll go back to Smitty.
What is this? The fucking airing of the grievances?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Glenn's got a lot
Got
of
a lot of
problems.
problems with you people. You're all going to hear about it.
I can't wait for the feats of strength. So here's my opinion on it. I thought that pre-draft trade was maybe the most exciting part of this league that I've been in since 2011. I've won twice. This was way more exciting than that. Dave kind of tickled my ear and said, hey, I got a couple of running backs that I can't keep them all. Would you be interested in any of them? I got Kamara, I got Aaron Jones, I got Dalvin Cook. What's your interest level?
Got some magic beans. Got some magic beans.
Still have Dalvin Cook, by the way.
How's that working out for you, Dave? Talk to me.
Fuck you, Danny. You're just as bad as me.
Oh, we're gonna get it.
I'm not as fucking bitter.
Okay. Let Glenn finish.
Danny in a moment.
I'm fucking commissioner. I haven't won this league in fucking 8 years. So you're goddamn right I'm bitter. Fuck you guys.
So Glenn, you were saying.
So I went and looked at the numbers. I was like, well, wait a second. I got Todd Gurley. He had a down year last year, and Alvin Kamara was a couple of points behind him. I know he's beat early in the season, missed a couple of games. But has this guy lost his stuff? What's the deal? I thought, Dave was trying to pull a fast one on me. So I did some research, and I found out that he moved himself over to, I think, an all-plant diet, which is supposed to help reduce inflammation, help his body heal a little bit more. So I was like, you know what, this.
Are you fucking serious with this?
Pretty awesome. Yeah, I did some research.
How is he not dead yet?
Are you
He doesn't eat any meat?
Hold on, I was watching.
No meat.
So he definitely changed his diet. I think he went all plant, but he said he's in the best shape of his life. He's
Who's
ripped
this?
up.
Kamara,
yeah.
I mean, he's a fucking professional football player. He's like 25 years old. He better be in the best shape of his life. What the fuck is that? I hope does he eat beans? I guess beans for protein?
Yeah, a lot of beans, I'm sure. I can talk to my wife about it. But.
Must be stinky in the Kamara household.
Shitting out those points, baby.
Fucking Glenn makes jokes now. Now it's fucking Glenn's comedy hour.
That's right, baby.
Is this CNN?
Is this yeah. And so we're finally coming down to it, and I was like, okay, well, wait a second. If I'm going to take Kamara, now I had Gurley, who I had planned to cap to his not Todd Gurley last year. Obviously, some changes over in LA, how they wanted to use him. So I was like, wait a second, let me go look at rosters who might be able to use Gurley. And who do I come upon? El Chapo. So I reach out to Poppy, and I asked him, I was like, who are you planning to keep? Obviously, you're going to bonus keep Ridley. The guy's a stud. You're obviously going to keep Kittle. That's a guy you hold on to. You don't let go of a guy like Kittle, right?
Why would you trade Kittle? Here, I got an idea.
Why would you get
a fucking commodity? A fucking dime a dozen quarterback. Let's trade him.
You're 1-6. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Josh, hold on. I gotta. No, it's fine. Danny, continue. I'd like to hear.
Yeah.
Glenn, go on.
No, go ahead, Glenn.
Glenn is beating my ears.
Obviously, I reach out to Poppy. And it's like, hey, who's your third keeper? And he's like, OBJ. I was like, all right, listen. OBJ. The guy's career is based on one catch, right? He has a hot game and then disappears forever. So it's like, listen, I have Todd Gurley. I got another this year plus next year keep value on him. I got a trade working. Would you be interested in taking on Todd Gurley if I get this other trade to go? It's like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay. Quick fast forward. So morning of, Dave and I tried to make the trade the night before. We had some issues with the league setup with the IDP and everything. And I had AJ Green on injured reserve. So we weren't able to get the trade through. So Dave's texted me the next morning. I'm at Subaru screaming at a sales associate who promised me that they would do my rear brakes on warranty as long as I brought it back before 40,000 miles. And they said, oh, no, it's 36. So they wanted to charge me $5.99.
I actually remember this conversation. I do.
So my blood pressure's at 200. I'm screaming at him. My phone's going off in my pocket. So I finally tell Subaru to go fuck themselves. I'm going to go call corporate, and maybe they'll have a different opinion on this. And I'm at a red light, and I see the text from Dave. Oh, yeah. League settings, blah, 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 blah. This is what you need to do. So I'm on Hempstead Turnpike, 3-lane highway. I ripped my car over to the side of the road. I'm in a medical building parking lot. First person I call is Cheese. Cheese is my sounding board. And I say, hey, buddy, listen, I'm going to make this trade for Camaro. You feel okay with it? I feel okay with it. We went through everything. Yep, let's do it. Call Poppy. Say, hey, Poppy.
Hola, Poppy. ¿Cómo está?
Hey, Poppy, you want to get fucked in the ass?
You still want Todd Gurley? Yes, he does. So, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, Matt Ryan.
Uh-oh.
Touchdown.
Oh, walked it in.
Dude, there was a guy doing like a bear crawl.
The bear crawl. I saw that.
Bear crawl.
Why wouldn't they use Todd Gurley? Why wouldn't they use Todd Gurley?
It's a tough game.
God, just
bad luck, Danny. Danny, bad luck. Bad luck.
Pop the trade. Camara's locked. Poppy trade. Gurley locked. Boom. I'm in the parking lot of a medical building, screaming at the top of my lungs, David fucking Putney. I feel like Kevin Costner in Draft Day. And so then Poppy then goes and spins off OBJ to who? Oh, all right, the Big Katt. Yeah. So, I mean, this was a big 3-team trade, and there was a lot of work that was put into it. There was a lot of communication, and like I said, it was just the most exciting thing that I've done in this league. That's my thoughts on this.
I will back them up. I think it's so. If we keep it going, right? If you look at it like right now, the trade deadline's coming out, so you can do two things. If you want to make that late push, you could. It could benefit a lot of people and it could hurt some people, right? Because like Dave, me and you right now, we're sellers, right? So we're probably trying to sell some stuff, but we also got to look at the losers bracket. So if we could keep our assets right now, you know what I mean? Like,
bro, here's the deal. I get it. But with the level of talent that's coming out, the difference between the first pick and the 5th pick is fucking negligible. So truthfully, if you want my honest opinion, I want to finish in 4th or 5th place because I'll have better picks on the even numbered rounds as they come back. Because here's who's coming out, right? Okay. Alvin Kamara, heard of him? Christian McCaffrey, heard of him? Dalvin Cook, heard of him? Fuck you. George Kittle, heard of him?
Yeah.
I know you two have, you fucking morons. Travis Kelce, heard of him?
Coming back.
Oh, there's this other guy. He's a quarterback. Kansas City. What's his name?
Mahomes.
It's 6 guys right there. And that's just like off the top of my head. I know.
Yeah, no.
So, I get it, Danny. But this year, especially because the way that the keepers are getting poured back out into the ecosystem, number 1 overall pick, I just don't see a tremendous amount of value. It's nice, but
no, I think what he was trying to say is that it just adds another dimension into the trade deadline, which I think he likes.
And actually, if you actually think about it, it might diminish the trade deadline a little because in some cases you're like, hey, why do I got to trade somebody? I could trade them, right before the league starts and see what's going on at that point.
There's a good example here, Bobby D, right? Bobby's team, who's on a skid, but they could bounce back. He has Miles Sanders, who is going to be his odd man out as far as keepers go, right? He's going to keep Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's going to keep A.J. Brown as a bonus, and he's going to keep Amari Cooper at wide receiver. He can't keep Miles Sanders again. He has to choose between Sanders and CEH. And I would say, unless there's a catastrophic injury for CEH, he's going to keep CEH. So what happens there is now Sanders is going to be available to the highest bidder preseason next year. So Bobby can't keep him, but Bobby's going to be able to upgrade himself by trading out Miles Sanders, who, in my estimation, if I was at the back half of the first round, I would dump a first round pick for Miles Sanders for sure.
He's electric.
Considering where the draft falls, you know?
Yeah.
So that's my whole problem with it, is that this guy that I should have the ability to draft, kind of like the guys mid-draft should feel about Alvin Kamara because I traded him to Glenn before this season. They should have had the opportunity to draft him. Is not going to be there, and Bobby's going to have 2 first-round picks. Now, does that seem fair?
Point.
It doesn't.
I don't know.
You're
That
right.
doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
No, what he's saying is if you have a couple of studs that, you know, have 1, maybe even 2 years keep status left, and you're trading them, you're taking them out of the draft. And then also likely rewarding yourself in the draft. I hear that.
Yeah.
But it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I guess if it worked out for you.
Well,
I certainly have a different way to look at it.
Right. No.
It worked in your favor. It didn't work at all in my favor or in the favor of the league.
But you thought it was going to work in your favor when you took my second round pick.
So I mean,
that's the other thing. When it happened, there was no way to know that we'd be here. You know,
right.
I mean, those 3 picks that I had in the first 22, I mean,
So here's my only point. So when you're trading right before the draft, it's a little different than trading in the season, because if you're trading in the season for a player, let's say, you know, it's just anyone's opinion who's going to score more points between you know, now and the end of the year. With a draft pick, you kind of know where they're going to get slotted. So so, you know, Kamara was obvious top 2 pick in my opinion, or maybe maybe you could say Derrick Henry. So he would have gone 3rd at the worst.
Here's the question. Here's a good question. Glenn, had Kamara been in the draft pool, would you have picked Kamara or Henry?
Henry.
Really?
Yeah.
Danny, had Kamara been out there,
I would have
would you have taken Tyreek or Kamara?
Yeah, no, I would have taken Kamara because my like I told you guys, my thing with Henry was I just thought, like, he just got paid. I thought he was going to get hurt. I like this thing about him, but I thought Kamara is just an all around player, right? Because he catches and everything like that. So
he just got paid though too.
He's a dual threat. He also did just get paid, right?
It's all right, dude. Derrick Henry is like, he gets disrespected. I seriously think he does.
Have you seen the size of the guy? He's a fucking animal.
I own Glenn. I own him in my other league. I'm completely obsessed with him. But I do think that when people look at it and they say, because like, what was the preseason rankings this year, right? It was Saquon Barkley,
3.
Christian McCaffrey,
right?
Zeke Elliott, Alvin Kamara. Henry, he's back there 5. You know, there's probably people that drafted other running backs before him.
Oh, definitely.
There's probably guys that drafted Nick Chubb before him. It's possible.
Well, Bobby drafted Edwards-Helaire before him, and I told Cheese before the draft, I said, there is a path to Derrick Henry. I said, I'm pretty sure that Poppy's going to take a wide receiver, and he pretty much told me he was going to take a wide receiver. But I said,
way to go, Poppy.
I said, I'll probably either get Edwards-Helaire or I'm going to get Derrick Henry. And I said, I think I'll get Derrick Henry.
But either way, you're good.
The draft at 3. Right.
Yeah.
And in either way, you're in the same spot now. So I think that's the other thing too, is that like I get a lot of shit from some people in Odell Beckham jerseys about that trade. But the fact
I give you no shit about the trade at all. My only point is that you should have gotten more for that pick. You had the option to turn it down. That's my only point, right? You knew you were getting a 2nd round pick for a guy who's going 2nd or 3rd. You had the option to turn it down. It's not the rules' fault.
To what end? Why would I turn it down? I
because
either get a 2nd round pick for him, or I get nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, I mean, I gotta go with Dave. You're gonna lose something if. Lose something or get nothing, you know what I mean? So
and Glenn, this is no offensive against you, but I also think that this is a bit of a product of the result, because my first 3 picks that were all taken in that same area were Chris Carson, who's working out pretty good, Cortland Sutton, who pops his ACL in week 2, and Mark Ingram, who I will take the beating on that. That was not a good pick for me. So, I had those 3 picks, but there were certainly 3 players in those 22 picks that could have made my team extremely different. Now, I fucked them up, and that's okay. Shit happens, right? But I think it's a results-driven thing where also if Glenn wouldn't be having the massive success that he's having now, I probably wouldn't be so hung up on that fucking trade.
I have a great point here, and Derek, I'm going to come back at you just a little bit on this. Mm-hmm. Draft value versus roster value is different. So I took on a guy who's on an expiring contract. It's a 1-year rental, and I gave up a second pick for that. He's gone after this year. Now, your first 2 rounds you're looking for your keepers for the next couple of years to replace out your previous keepers. So I see no point in giving a first-round pick for Alvin Kamara for 1 year when I know I can't keep him. My first-round pick is going to be my Derrick Henry's. It's going to be, last year it was Todd Gurley, hoping that he would continue on that success and be my keeper for the next 2 years. So I think it was priced exactly right. I think he was worth the second-round pick, not a first. That's my opinion.
So that's not my point at all. I'm saying,
I'm sorry.
I totally agree with you. All I'm saying is that
consider that this is not your point. I just want to make that point.
No, I agree with you. That makes sense.
Sure.
But Dave has the option of turning the trade down. It's not the rule's fault. If the rule is so awful, he doesn't have to do that trade. That's my only point.
Yeah, I think what Derek's saying is that Dave's salty because it's going to benefit him.
No. Dave can't be unhappy with that trade. He couldn't keep him.
I'm extremely unhappy.
He turned.
I'm extremely unhappy for a litany of reasons.
He turned 2 running backs into draft picks, right? You traded Aaron Jones also, right, to your brother?
That's my other point. With it? Like it's just a lottery ticket, It's Mike and Dave are the ones who had all these extra picks, and they're at the bottom of the league.
Fuck you.
So that's my other point. How this rule isn't just ruining the league. It's just a fun little thing. There's only I'm not saying you're ruining it. Nothing is being ruined. I'm saying it's fine, and you really need to let this go. That's all I'm saying.
I can't let it go. I'm fucking sick.
But don't blame the rule.
The one thing I would say is that we really should think about if we're going to keep this for next year before the trade deadline, because that makes a huge difference, right?
No, I think
we definitely won't trade it.
Yeah, we're keeping it.
Yeah, we definitely won't.
I think if we're going to change it, it would be an off-season vote, and it would continue through 2021 and take effect in 2022. Right. And I think, I mean, I'm fucking upset, but if you think that means I don't want to. If you think that doesn't mean I don't want
some action, baby? You want some action?
If you think I don't want another bite at the apple in August, you're fucking wrong.
And the other thing, that your Bobby D example, like that's the whole reason the rule's in place, to reward people who have good players that they can't do anything with.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely. And also it should also benefit teams who don't have keepers and can make moves. That's the other thing, because if you don't have good keepers going into the league, going into the year, then you're pretty much done. So I'm trying to help everyone out.
Me the last 3 years. So
hey, Derek, you're a facilitator. Thank you.
So I think we've gassed Glenn's tires enough, and I think the next thing that we need to talk about is who in the contender category has a legit shot to get up there and take down Glenn without Dalvin Cook, who I'm apparently not trading. Not yet. I'm actually going to keep him. I'm going to keep him for now. The trade deadline's a couple weeks away. I want to see what happens. What the market happens. You never know. But who's out there, right? Because you have the obvious. I mean, the records tell you the guys that have a chance, quote unquote, right? You have Kamala, right? Who's right there, right at the top, second scoring. You have teams that are surging, the Bearded Clan, Baker's Brownies, Seymour Bush, who's on a down week, Butthole Surfers, and Creme. I mean, those are the guys that are in the playoff hunt. But, like, when it boils down to it, one, what's going to happen What's going to have to happen to knock Glenn off his high horse?
Injuries.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, we know that. But like, who is it that's going to come up and challenge? Because, like, look, we've all been playing fantasy football for a long time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Something is going to happen here that's going to make it interesting. I would think. I mean, it's possible, Glenn, that things just work out and you just double up the league. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think something's going to go down, or somebody's going to catch hot fire like Tony. Dude, Tony's so hot right now, he can take a crap and a piece of tinfoil, put some hooks on it, and sell it to Queen Elizabeth's earrings. I mean, his team is hot right now. So who is it?
I mean, I'm looking at some teams here. I'm really, really surprised that Seymour Bush has had such a strong season after winning the Super Bowl. Typically when you draft last, you have to make some tough decisions on your roster. And I don't know if it's his matchups. I haven't looked at the live scoring, but I mean, to be 6-1 after being champion the last year, that's
Mike
hard
Davis.
To do. Yeah. It's Mike Davis. He is putting up some numbers there.
I'm serious. That's the guy that's just putting him over the edge right now.
Right. I mean, he's got Zeke. Didn't look good last game. I don't think not having his quarterback out there is certainly going to take a hit in those numbers.
That offensive line is a fucking disaster.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean, they're playing guys off the street in Dallas.
Yeah.
So when the Mike Davis, I guess the question is, right, when the Mike Davis train ends, which is probably next week.
Next week,
right? Yeah. Looks like it.
What happens to his team at that point?
Well, he did pick up Antonio Brown, which is intriguing. I'm not going to say it's going to be the Antonio Brown of old, but hey, he's probably on the best offense in the league.
Yeah, but like look at Gronk. It took Gronk 4 or 5 weeks to feel it, right? So, like, to get into the rhythm of it. It's going to take him, like, yeah, I know what you're saying, but it's going to take him at least 2 weeks to get into a rhythm.
I agree. It's not going to take as long as Gronk, though. That guy is the picture of health. I don't think he's been sitting on his ass eating Cheetos while he's been out of the league.
What's wrong with
He's
Cheetos,
in
man?
top condition. Well, nothing. They're delicious. But when you're a top elite athlete, it's probably not the best thing to do.
This is peak performance right here.
So,
how much weed do you think he's smoking right now?
Get it all in.
Hopefully none, dude. Because if you think he's not pissing in a cup every day for the next 2 weeks, you're fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He'll find some clean piss. Don't worry about that.
I mean, I'm just looking. I agree with you, Dave.
I think Bob. You know what? If you look at Bob's team, it's solid. Listen, I think it's very Hollywood. I'm going to say the team is, but he's got some big names on there, and I think my concern with Bob's team is like CEH. I hope the Bell trade doesn't take touches from him, which it's definitely going to. And I think all around DJ Metcalf's a fucking just he's the Megatron of this kind of generation now. He's just a fucking stud.
Yeah,
I like Bob's team.
Yeah,
a lot.
Like DK Metcalf almost doesn't know how good he is yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, he's just gonna. I mean, dude, like Glenn, the Buda Baker thing last week. I mean, it's gonna be a highlight that's played for years. I mean,
it's unbelievable, and what a great segue, because the funny thing was, obviously I have Russell Wilson as my quarterback. Fucking awesome, great pick.
Yes, I have Buda Baker.
And I also have Buda Baker, who is, by the way, is playing with a cast on one of his hands because he broke his thumb, I think, in week 3.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
He's making, he's putting up 32-point games with a cast on his hand. But
he just got paid too, Danny. So for your fucking, I just got paid fucking thing. Yeah, he got paid, and he's the best fucking safety in the league.
Hey, fuckface, I'm 1-6. What do you want from me?
Yeah, that's a good point.
So funny, just quick story. Watching that late game against the Seahawks, and Buda Baker makes that pick, and DK Metcalf, just elite athlete, tracks him down 80 yards and pulls the tackle. So, cheese.
Oh, you got points
of
there.
Yeah.
You got fucking points.
Cheese and all my friends are, oh my God, DK Metcalf just saved your ass. He saved you from a pick six with Russell. And I was like, well, no, we have IDP this year, which again, great addition to the league. I think I actually lost a net of 3 points because I think Buddha would have gotten 6 for the touchdown.
Correct.
Had he made it, and Russell would only have been penalized 3 for the pick 6, along with the -1 for the interception.
It's 4. It's a 4-point play.
So,
it's 2 points for the pick and 2 points for the pick 6. It's the Matt Shaw, also known as the Matt Schaub rule.
Okay, so
which we instituted. I don't know. That's 10 years ago, right?
I'm pretty sure it was Matt Schaub. After you mentioned that, I was thinking about it. It was him.
He threw. What did he throw? I think he threw 6.
Like a ridiculous amount.
It was 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane.
So with IDP, I mean, if he would have gotten that pick 6, that would have been +12 -4. That's 8 points I lost. But pretty sick play. I mean,
I would have scored 8 more points.
That got me jacked up, though. That play was awesome.
You make me want to fucking throw up all over my basement.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So Bobby D, Danny, getting back to you with Bob.
Yeah.
I like Bob's team, and Mahomes is not like Mahomes did up yet. You guys
No.
Right? So
but he will. I mean, he's that guy, right?
There's gonna be big games out there that are gonna happen. And
this week against the Jets.
Yeah, but maybe not. I could see this being a fucking because last week, I feel like last week was a little bit of fool's gold, right? Because Kansas City beat the shit out of they beat that ass, but they also scored a defensive touchdown, I think, and then they scored a return touchdown, I want to say. So, there were whole offensive possessions that were removed from Kansas City's offense that week, So yeah, I like Bobby. I think Tony is I think Tony's
for
a contender.
Sure. Yep.
I like Tony's team. I don't like his running back situation, but holy shit, James Robinson, right? How did Tony did he draft him? I'm gonna look.
No, he must have been a pickup.
Now he picked him up $14 in week 2.
It's a good
Best
pickup.
$14 Tony's ever spent. I guarantee it. But Tony's team is kind of rock solid-ish. And if Mike Evans can ever get healthy,
fuck that guy, bro.
He's out there and he's catching touchdowns, but he's not doing huge yards. But if he can ever get healthy, Tony's team is going to be kind of pretty good.
Well, Mike Evans is no longer the go-to guy on that team. Now you have a 42-year-old quarterback that likes to throw.
Godwin can't stay in the game though. He fucking broke his finger. He broke a finger. He's going to miss this week. He's going to possibly miss next week.
Right.
I mean, Godwin can't stay healthy.
You got Antonio Brown there. You got Scotty Miller. I know you're a big fan of him. There's a lot of choice.
I resent that. I'm
honestly, sorry, I had to bring
whammy.
I'm honestly upset that you said
Gene
that.
Tennis at the plate. Whammy. Whammy.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of choices on that team. With
we are
Jameis
no longer
Winston,
friends because of your statement, you Scorpion woman.
I'm sorry. But you know what I mean. Mike Evans was the team. It was him and what's his name? Mr. Interception.
Godwin.
No, quarterback.
Tom Brady.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. Thank you.
So Devontae Adams is the 16th highest scoring wide receiver, and he's played in 3.5 games.
That's pretty.
That is crazy.
Yeah. I thought for sure he was going to be the first pick.
He's the highest average wide receiver out there.
Right. Yeah. I thought for sure Bobby was going to go Devonta Adams, and I had a little birdie told me that Poppy was going Tyreek Hill. But yeah, I mean, I thought for sure he'd go number 1. When he's on the field, he's ridiculous.
What about fucking Joe Yee picking Leonard Fournette at 3?
What the fuck?
I mean, here's the guys that were available when Joe Yee took Leonard Fournette: Devontae Adams, Jim Connor, DeAndre Hopkins, Jonathan Taylor.
DeAndre Hopkins, the highest scoring wide receiver in the league.
Yep.
How do you
Absolute beast.
I know we've already talked about the whole Nyheim Hines thing, so we're not going to go into that again. But man, that Fournette pick just reeks up the fucking house. And like, if you go back to draft day, right? Fournette is a starting running back in the league at that point.
Yep.
Right. So it's not as outlandish as it seems today. That's still a terrible pick. It's hard to defend.
No, I mean,
anyway,
he wasn't anywhere close to those players you just mentioned.
You guys want to hear how star-crossed Glenn is this year? So in the first 3 weeks of this fantasy football season, Josh Allen scored 116.92 points. That's over the course of 3 weeks. So it's nearly 40 points a week, right? I can do math.
Pretty good. Pretty good quarterback.
So then he trades him to Danny for some guy named Kittle. Fucking loser.
Kittle is the loser.
Yes. Kittle's terrible.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's not good.
So Danny gets a complete steal. So in the 4 weeks since that trade, Josh Allen has scored 87.9 points. So not only is Glenn making the right trades, but he's making them at the perfect time too.
Perfect.
So the Big Cat.
Josh Herbert.
Hey, I like to keep it classy.
It's a bear.
What
are you saying?
So the Big Cat sends me a text message this weekend. He goes, "Hey, bud, I think you broke Josh Allen." I go, "Yeah, I'm sorry."
He blames you.
I know.
Oh, he should.
100% blame you. Yeah, 100%. It's
Danny,
your fault.
You can't get your stink off him.
I know,
Dave, let me say in my defense now. Since that trade,
terrible.
George Kittle has gone 43-10, 8-4, 27-9, 10-5. So he is an even week stud, an odd week, meh. Just throwing that out there.
How's that worked out for you?
Glenn, this is why we cuss you out every show. Because you're a fucking asshole.
Glenn, here's the thing: is you have to look at his
dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
The other tight end, for 40 fucking points, dude. 40 points.
God have mercy on your soul.
40 points.
I hope
that's the margin of victory between you and the rest of the league, Glenn.
He got 140 points. All right. No.
That's really the thing that's moved him into unbeatable. That is that move right there.
Fucking Kittle. It's not my fault.
No one said it's your fault.
I want you to hug me. I want it to be like that scene in Good Will Hunting where you're like, it's not your fault, and hug me.
Dude, if Glenn didn't make that trade, he still would have had that guy he traded to Poppy. What's his name? From Atlanta. He's like running back 9. Like it's like Kamara's blown up, but like it's not that huge of a difference.
Right.
He's made so many perfect picks. The quarterback is blowing up. That really, really gets you into those 200-point weeks. And then his defense is perfect. So like no one's blaming you for Glenn's success. I am blaming Poppy. I'm not blaming you.
You know who has a great defense?
Who?
Joe Yee.
He does.
I think, Glenn, you have a top 3 defense if you look at like your top 3 starters. But Joe Yee's defense is fucking out of control.
It's ridiculous. I'm looking at it right now, and I got to go up against them this week. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, dude. His defense is fucking incredible. His offense, his players are fucking horrific. But he's got Miles Sanders, Jalen Smith. He's got Marlon Humphrey, who I think – is Humphrey back? I thought he was out. Did he practice today?
He's got no.
No, he didn't practice today. He's got no designation, but he didn't practice today. But whatever. I mean, even his backup defensive back has 104 points.
Yeah.
But I think, Glenn, your defensive starters have scored 350 points, and like there's a lot of teams out there that haven't made it over 250 on defense.
Yeah.
And that's like it's like another thing, right? It's just a piece to the puzzle, you know? Yep. You fucking cocksucker.
All right. Any final words, boys?
I love everybody. God bless America.
This was fun.
This was fun.
I need another beer.
Yeah, I'm gassing up again.
You know what? I'll
Running
pick me up.
light. I'm out. I'm like waiting for this to finish.
All right, give us a big finish, and then
Give us the big finish, Big Cat. Bring us home.
Oh, Big Cat, you want big finish?
It's just a little goodbye to Odell Beckham. I'm sorry it didn't work out. I just want you to know I miss you. Man, Michelle Branch, what a hottie. Holy shit.
Oh, she can get it.
Really got the Big Cat engine revving back in the day.
What's going on behind that screen, Big Cat?
Don't you worry about it.
What's going on under the screen?
All right, boys. Well, that was fun. Hopefully some people watch that. I like the breakout. Glenn, as always, I hope you lose. And go Browns.
I'm going to cut
Bills.
myself now.
Holler.